What's up, guys? Alton here. Got another video, and today I'm gonna want to touch on a quick topic, and this is a topic that has come up within the past, I want to say, week or so, and it is the topic of trying to reach out to the conscious community to do some healthy dialogue, some conversing with the other side to see if we can actually come together and just rationally talk about why is there such a wedge between the conscious community and the Christian community. Now, I just want to go ahead and put it out there, you guys. I actually reached out to a couple of these guys to do some meaningful dialogue. Not a debate. I didn't want to get into the whole back and forth thing. And I've actually sent out some pretty nice, cordial emails saying, hey, listen, just wanted to know if you guys would be willing to dialogue, maybe talk. And it doesn't have to even be anything public. We don't have to do something on YouTube and let everybody else know about it. It can just be private between, just, two guys talking. Now, a couple of guys I didn't get a response from. And I know that they got the email. Shows that they got it and they read it. But then there was a couple of guys that I reached out to that actually responded. And I'm not going to disclose who these guys are. I'm not going to talk about it. I told them that I wouldn't, this wouldn't be something that I would be putting out publicly saying that, hey, I reached out to this person and they said this and that. And I am going to keep my word on it. But I will kind of just keep it pretty vague. To basically not try to say too much because the emails, back and forth were pretty private between me and these other guys. And one guy in particular, man, I mean, he just went in on me. And he was like, man, I ain't doing no dialogue. And you Christians are so, bullheaded. And you guys don't want to listen to reason and rationality and all of this stuff here. And this guy, he just totally went in on me. So I say, okay, I understand where this guy's coming from. That he doesn't want to do just a meaningful dialogue. And, I reiterated in the email and I was like, well, it's not a debate. I mean, we don't have to make it public. And, this guy just continued to go in. And, he was just upset that, I guess, because I reached out to him. And I was just like, hey, man, maybe we can just, dialogue, just talk and see what the difference is. And, and just share stories. Didn't want to do it. A couple of these guys, the guys who did reach back to me was basically like, you'll never understand, and you're not spreading truth, and if you're not willing to agree with what information that I'm bringing to you, then they were basically just uninterested in doing a dialogue. Now, what I thought was so ironic is that these guys from the conscious community, they plan to have all of this knowledge and all of this truth. But unless you agree with them, then they don't want to talk to you. I was actually watching a video yesterday. I won't disclose his name, but he actually had a video that he was doing, and he was complaining about how people just basically excommunicated him and a couple people that he knew once they became conscious. And he was saying that, people from the church, they didn't want to talk to him no more and all of this stuff here. And I was just totally blocked out of their circles. Now, I got my own opinions about that, but I'm not going to get into it here. But anyway, my thing is, if you found truth, and if you know something to be true, and you know that the Bible is just completely hogwash, just complete garbage, the biggest question that I have is why do you continue to talk about something that is so invalid? And that's one of the biggest questions that I always ask. If the Bible is so invalid, then why continue to talk about the Bible? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I don't see these guys, like I said in my other videos, they're not talking about Buddhism, Hinduism. They're not talking about Islam. They only focus on Christianity. They're only focused on Christianity. And if Christianity is just so invalid and we got this Bible from the white man and the Europeans and all of this stuff, show us and prove it. Sit down and talk to some Christians. It's like they have no problem bashing Christians and hiding behind a camera and a microphone talking about Christians, but they don't want to have a meaningful discussion with Christians to see what actually they believe. They don't want to hear what we believe. They want to go ahead and follow these preconceived notions that we don't know what we're talking about. We're just so dumb. We're so dumb that they don't want to have rational, logical discussions. I did a discussion with an atheist, a guy in Sweden. This guy was an atheist. He just did not believe in God. And we chopped it up. We actually chopped it up 3 times. One got fully recorded. The second one didn't. And the third one, only parts of it got recorded. And I talked to this guy multiple times. And we were both 2 guys on opposite sides of the spectrum. But we were able to come together and have a meaningful discussion. But these conscious guys, cult-like mentality, you know, it's like they don't want to talk to you if you're not a part of their circle. If you don't agree with them, then they don't want to talk to you, which I find pretty interesting. Because I don't know if you guys remember, you remember when you were kids or teenagers or something, and if you saw something and you knew it was true, right? And you saw something and you told someone about it, and they say, "Nah, man, you lying. Nah, you lying. I don't believe you." And if you know that something is true, what's the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna say, "No, listen, man, I will fight you tooth and nail to prove to you that this is true, because I've seen it with my own eyes, and I know for a fact that this is true." But see, with the conscious community, if what they're spewing is truth, they will have no problem talking to anyone about what they believe is true. This is a conclusion that I've come to with the conscious community. The conscious community, like I said in my last video, is nothing but a hustle. And a lot of you are just going to have to accept that. This is nothing but a hustle. There is no truth to it. Because these guys have no intentions of spreading truth. And another conclusion that I've come to is that these guys, the reason why they don't want to talk to Christians, especially the ones who know what they're talking about. See, they'll talk to the ones who they think that they can shut down and just basically just make them look like fools. They'll talk to those guys. But they won't talk to us who have basic knowledge, basic understanding of the Bible. Guys like me who know that the Council of Nicaea did not start or did not write the Bible. They won't talk to guys like me because they know that they'll get shut down. Because I got documentation to show that the Bible was not started at the Council of Nicaea, and they don't. Because they know that Christians like me, we're going to ask the tough questions. We're going to hold their feet to the fire. We're going to ask them straight up, how did you get this information that you claim to have? This truth that you claim to have? They can't defend it. They can't defend their position on it, so they don't want to talk to the Christians who they know is going to hold their feet to the fire. Because if they do, then they run the risk of being put on the spot publicly and losing their following. Because someone who has a basic understanding of the Bible will shut these guys down. I mean, it's a fact. If you have somewhat of an understanding of the Bible and church history, these guys are small potatoes. Even these guys who call themselves doctors. That's another thing I want to touch on right now. A lot of these guys, they call themselves doctors. Check their credentials. A lot of these guys don't have doctorate degrees in historical studies. They only have doctor's degrees in unrelated fields. Like, for instance, Dr. Umar Johnson, and the reason why I put it in quotations is because people are questioning his credentials. Now, I don't know if the man has a doctor's degree or not, but he says that he has a doctor's degree in psychology. Just like Dr. Ray Higgins, he said that he has a degree in psychology. Dr. Boyce Watkins, he has a degree in finance. So these are guys who are not some guys who have these doctorate degrees in this field of study particularly. These are some guys who just saved up enough money to go take trips over to Egypt and watch some pyramids. They went over there as tourists just like anyone else. They snapped their pictures and, they listen to how someone interprets these hieroglyphics and all of this stuff here. And these guys come back to America with their photos and stuff like that, saying, hey, I've been over to Kemet. I've seen this stuff for myself. And then they think that they have a one-up on someone else, or that somehow qualifies them as having this knowledge because they took about $2,500 or more in some of these cases and went over to Egypt, saw these things, and came right back. But anybody can go over there as a tourist. I mean, I can go over there as a tourist. I'm actually planning on taking a trip there and to Jerusalem and a couple other places too. Not just because I can say I've been, but just, I've always wanted to go and see the pyramids. I've always wanted to go to Jerusalem. And I actually know a lot of people in Jerusalem. So if we go, the only thing that we'll probably be paying for is like plane tickets, food, accommodations, stuff like that. That'll be taken care of. They just say, hey, listen, you just buy the plane ticket, come on over, we'll accept you in. But anyway, don't want to divert too much. But these guys who are in the conscious community, they know that it's a hustle. It's a huge hustle. But this is how this is going to become a curse to them. The conscious community is dying. Okay? I'm watching it die. It plateaued out about a couple of months ago. It plateaued. Now, it's actually on a decline. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but me personally, I haven't been seeing too many posts from the conscious community about things that's going on. Because I got friends and family members who have this conscious mindset. And there's a couple of events that have happened, and they haven't even spoke on it. Like the officer being acquitted of the shooting. I didn't really see too many people post about it. And I'm talking about people who have this conscious mindset. They didn't post about it. The conscious community knows that their hustle is starting to die. It is. They know it's only going to be so long before no one's going to be buying their t-shirts anymore, their shea butter, their essential oils, their DVDs, or all of this false information. And the reason why it's dying is because we live in an age of information now. If you want to know anything about anything, all you got to do is pick up your device, pick up your phone, and say, hey, let me Google search that. Just like with the Council of Nicaea. They can't keep using that argument because too many people got smartphones Googling the Council of Nicaea. And they're figuring out, they're finding out that these guys are just, they're just brainwashed, or they're trying to brainwash these people. There's a lot of people that's been brought out of the conscious movement because they've actually not taken these guys' word for it, and they've actually went and they've studied. And they Google searched it. Hey, Council of Nicaea, did it write the Bible or not? And they're getting their answer. And most likely, the first answer you're going to get is no. You type in the Council of Nicaea, and it'll show you in a Nicene Creed of what the council was about and why did it meet. So it's just little stuff like that. But yeah, the conscious community is dying, and I think when it dies this time, I don't think it's coming back. I really don't. I don't really think that people are really going to be getting back into the conscious movement unless something dramatically happens, 20 years from now. And the only reason why the conscious movement started to become popular again was because of all the racial divide that's been going on in this country. And what happens is that whenever the racial divide happens, these guys start to peak. This movement starts to go up. But then it gets to a point to where it plateaus out, and then it starts to take a nosedive. Right now, that's what it's starting to do. It's at the point to where it's on a decline right now. And there's another reason why these guys, they don't want to talk. They don't want to talk to Christians, people who actually know what they're talking about when it comes to the Bible. They'll sit back and they'll say, oh, you brainwashed. I can't talk to you. You're ignorant. You don't want to listen. Well, that's because I'm not going to agree with you on the falsehoods and all of the junk that you're putting out. So I just want to go ahead and make this quick video, guys. Basically, in a nutshell, like I always say, the conscious community is nothing but a hustle. This is a dying movement, starting to die. And, the reason why these guys don't want to do open dialogue is because I wouldn't say that they're scared. It's just that they know. I'll put it to you like this. They know that what they're trying to sell or what they're trying to promote is a bunch of trash and garbage. And they know that if they allow that trash and garbage to be exploited, they'll end up losing money. But as always, guys, like, rate, share, comment, subscribe. And you guys have a blessed day.